Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to tackle a different topic, which is basically if I were to do or to sit for the CAIA, the Chartered Alternative Investment Analyst Level II exam, what would be the order of the topics that I would begin to study, which order I would make my preparation towards the exam. So, as you know, I managed to pass the exam, but even though I followed the curriculum, all the topics in their sequential order, I did some tweaks to begin with, especially because of the different topic weightings of the exam. As you probably know, if you look at the CAIA website, the morning portion of the exam tackles all the topics from the 3rd to the 9th, and the first and second topics are exclusively addressed in the afternoon session of the exam. And so because of that, and also because of the weightings, the morning exam has a weighting of 70% of the overall score of the exam, and the afternoon exam as a portion of the exam has only 30%. I decided to focus more on the topics which would be tackled in the morning. Topics from the 3rd to the 9th. And give that a little bit more focus than the other ones, because of course, especially if you have a full-time job, it's very important for you to understand that probably will not be able to prepare as much as you can, as you wish you could, equally on all topics. So at some point you have to make some choices, and because there is no other way to do it, especially if you have not only full-time job but family commitments and all that. So it's important to make this sort of trade-offs in your preparation. So basically, now with the benefit of hindsight, I am able to tell you which is the particular order that I would take if I would tackle the exam once again. I must also say that, and this is an important issue to address as well before we go into the order of the topics, is that because I was already a CFA charter holder, so I tackled all the exams of the CFA program. The knowledge that I had and that I simply transferred over to my preparation this exam, of course, made a lot of the topics easier to understand, and the concepts, the calculations and all that, many of those overlap between the two programs. And so please keep in mind that for me, because I had already this background knowledge, for me this order probably would suit me the best if I would tackle the exam again. But for first-time candidates, it's important to understand that many of these topics will be unfamiliar to you, and because of that you will need to put in some more work. But still, I feel that this order would be useful to you to go through, because basically what I would do is that I would go for the more theoretical topics first, from I would not say the easiest to the hardest one, but from the relatively more accessible to the one a little bit more difficult. And then I would go to the topics which are a little bit more practical, have more calculations, or at least are more likely to have calculations for you to do in the actual exam. And once again, for those topics, I would go also from the easiest to for me, the perceived most difficult one. So let's get right through it, and of course, then I will address after I address all these topics. I will talk a little bit about those who will only come up in the essay portion of the exam, which is in the afternoon. So, first topic of all, and probably the easiest one to tackle, at least in my experience, is the fourth one, topic 4, institutional asset owners and investment policies. And why is that? Because if you even either as a first-time candidate or a CFHR holder, if you follow financial news outlets and so on, you can easily understand the characteristics and differences between among all institutional investors, being sovereign wealth funds, family offices, pension funds as well. So you are able to understand better once you go through this particular topic. You'll be able to relate based on your background knowledge what is important for you to retain for the exam. There are also a few calculations, such as, for example, I recall the value of pension benefits. You can also calculate the cost of living adjustments, for example. These may be a little bit tricky for you the first time you try to do those calculations, but once you get the hang of them and you practice enough, they will become absolutely second nature to you, because it's always the same thing. There is basically no deviation whatsoever from the kind of calculations that you will do in this regard. The next topic, probably I would say the topic number 5, risk and risk management. And again, I picked this topic as a second because, once again, my perspective may be a little bit biased, because since I've gone through the CFA program previously, it's helped me a lot to better understand some of the topics that are covered in this, or should I say the concepts covered in this topic. For example, the events on financial fraud and losses that are at the beginning of this topic. Probably, if you are old enough, if you are, for example, in your 30s or in your 40s, you will probably recall some of these, because they were widely circulated in the media. Performance attribution, risk metrics are a little bit tricky for first-time candidates to understand, because of course these are a little bit more intrinsic to the nature of the of risk management. And also, if you are, for example, if you are more versed on portfolio management, the concepts of hedging, rebalancing will be quite straightforward to you. But if you are a first-time candidate, those will be, I would say, a little bit more difficult, but not that much. In comparison to the rest of the curriculum, will not be that much difficult to grasp. The next topic, I would say, it's the topic number 7, which is accessing alternative investments. And why I would say this is the third one, because this topic has a similar difficulty level relative to the topic number 5, the risk management. And so it's not too extensive. I would say it. You can easily swift through the first few readings. The reading, and I would say the reading which is, as far as I can remember, the reading on real estate and commodities is probably the most complex one. And why? Because these investments have a specific set of terms, a specific terminology, which makes them a little bit more difficult for first-time candidates to grasp. Of course, if you are already a CFHR holder, you will get the hang of them pretty fast, because it's all about revisiting most of those topics. But for first-time candidates, this will be a little bit more trickier, and this particular reading is quite extensive. Of course, it will take you more time to go through them, and please don't be surprised if you find yourself in the need of having to go through that particular reading more than once. So it's important to keep that in regard. Probably the the next topic, and I picked this one next, even though I find this quite difficult, but because it's also quite theoretical, I would say this is the last one, which is almost exclusively theoretical, which is topic number 8, which is due diligence and selecting managers. This one is this is probably one of the most difficult of the entire curriculum. Of course, for CFA charter holders, it's easier because many of the topics overlap between both programs, but because it's quite theoretical, it's very extensive. It requires extra time for you to become familiar to many of these concepts, especially if you are a first-time candidate. And also the readings, I think, which are on operational due diligence and due diligence on terms and business activities, this will take you quite some time for you to grasp all the concepts and all the terms that are included in there, the process itself of due diligence. It will take you some time for you to get to grips with it. So this is one of the topics in which you will probably invest more of your time towards your preparation for the exam. So the next topics, so we already tackled 4. The next three of them are a little bit more practical, and so you are more likely to find yourself having to do calculations on topics on concepts which are related to these topics in the exam. Probably the first one that I would say, once you have addressed all the theoretical stuff or more theoretical topics, is topic number 3, which is basically models. It will be a little bit more difficult for you to probably, I would say, this is a guess of mine, it will be probably more difficult to tackle the interest rate models and credit models because you are most likely less familiar with them, and so they will take you more time for you to grasp the concepts and understand the calculations. But on the other hand, the equity models, I would say they are more accessible, not only because of their intrinsic nature, but also assuming you have some sort of background in finance. Models such as CAPM or the French model, they are taught in finance courses in most universities worldwide. So this will be, even for first-time candidates, this will be most likely a revisiting for you. So I would say you will not have too much trouble to understand those. I would say also, in terms of the asset allocation approaches, this will be one of the most difficult calculations or top concepts for you to tackle in this particular topic, because one of the calculations which is quite tricky for you to master is the risk contribution of each factor to the overall portfolio risk. So I remember that I struggled quite a lot in this calculation, even though it also overlaps with the CFA program. So yeah, please keep this in mind, that you will called upon to do these kind of calculations most likely, or at least a few of those, and so it's important to be prepared for this particular aspect of the exam. The following topic I would point out is topic number 6. And why number 6? Because as you can see in the curriculum, topic 6 is methods in alternative investment. I would say that because this topic addresses the binomial trees, which you can regard this probably as an introduction to options, you will see that you will probably have to do some calculations on this, and at least to understand. For you guys who are not aware, binomial trees are used in evaluation of options. And so before we tackle the last topic, which will be topic number 9, which is quite a lot, goes quite a lot deeper into options. It's important to have at least this sort of introduction for you to understand the ins and outs of options, option derivatives. And so it's important for you to get through first this topic before you go into the last one. I would say also, in terms of difficulty, this topic is a little bit more complex than the previous ones, because there are specific concepts that are more difficult to grasp than the previous ones in the previous topics. And so you don't be surprised once again to have to go through them several times, because it will be important for you to really grasp and understand these concepts for you to be able to tackle the last topic of the curriculum. But once again, for CFA charter holders, it will be once again revisiting most of the concepts and terminology of the curriculum of derivatives from the CFA program. So please be aware that this may be an important springboard for you to really understand what is coming next, which is basically topic number 9, which is volatility and complex strategies. Yes, volatility and complex strategies. This one, I would say, is probably the most difficult of the entire curriculum, at least for those topics which will be tackled in the morning portion of the exam. And why is that? Because as the name tells itself, it has a very heavy focus on options, not only in terms of the metrics, but also in terms of the strategies. You will also learn or revisit, if you are a CFA charter holder, you will be introduced to the option Greeks, which is basically metrics that will help you understand the level of sensitivity of the option price or volatility, if you talk about the Vega of an option relative to specific variables of the underlying asset. And so it's important for you to really invest some time in understanding this particular niche of this topic, because it's difficult to grasp in the beginning. I remember these are begin to be tackled, I believe, in the level 2 exam of this in the level 2 of the CFA program. And I remember that once you read those in the first time, you will find yourself wondering, what is this? I can't get the hang of this by a long shot. So don't be surprised if you will have to spend some time learning about the option Greeks, because it will be really key. And since it's one of the most difficult concepts to understand of the entire curriculum of the CAIA program, please expect to be tested in these particular concepts in the exam, because for sure some sort of question about the option Greeks will come into your exam. There are other topics which, for example, asset-backed securities, also insurance policies. These have specific terms which I would say they are complex to understand, and so once again you will find yourself devoting quite a lot of time to really go through all of these and to really understand them, especially because there are many questions that can be asked in the exam about this particular set of assets or securities, and so it's important for you to really go deep into these and really devote some time to these. And as I said, for first-time candidates, this will probably be the most difficult topic for you to tackle. So please, even though we left this for last, make sure you you go through you devote enough time to address this one. Finally, once this particular set of portion of the exam is addressed, I would go to the morning to the afternoon session of the exam, in which the heaviest focus will be the first two topics of the curriculum, which is basically the emerging topics. The materials will be a set of articles and lectures for you to understand topics about, for example, blockchain technology, private equity, Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, and so these will be freestanding, these particular materials. So you have to basically read these materials, study, understand them as well as you can, because you will be asked in essay format about these topics or these concepts in the exam. The second topic is ethics, regulation, and ESG. So you will talk about, in terms of ethics, you will focus not on the code and standards of the CFA Institute, but the asset manager code of the CFA Institute. And so it will be a little bit difficult from the code and standards of practice that you already seen in the level 1 of the CAIA exam, and also in the CFA program if you are a CFA charter holder. CFA charter holders will remember this code from the level 3 curriculum, but still it's important to be aware of these particular standards of the asset manager code, because they will be tested for sure, and some of the questions, as I recall during my preparation and even during the exam, can be either straightforward, can be quite complex, so it's important to keep that in mind. Also, in terms of global regulation for alternative investments, you will notice as you go through that there are some discrepancies in terms of for each country, for each jurisdiction. You will see that there are many differences. I think a big focus that you will need to call upon is that you will need to devote is in terms of the differences for countries in Asia, either Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong, in terms of how are they in terms of their global regulation. And also the last topic or the last set of concepts that you will need to grasp is ESG investments, ESG analysis, also the differences among jurisdictions, which jurisdictions worldwide are a little bit more ahead in terms of ESG regulation, which jurisdictions are a little bit falling behind. So I would say in a particular order, and again, because I revisited the topics of ethics and ESG already before, because also the ESG certificate that I have. For me, it would be easier to go to start these two topics by topic number 2, the ethics, regulation, and ESG, because many of these topics will be just about revisiting. For first-time candidates, I would say it would also be the case, because comparing to the concepts and all the terminology that goes on in the first topic, I would say it's a little bit easier for you to grasp and to tackle the second topic than the first one, and so I would prefer to leave the first topic for last. But if you are a blockchain or a cryptocurrency enthusiast, it may be the case that you will find or you will be likely to find the first topic easier, and so of course in that case I would recommend you tackle the easiest topic first, which would be the topic on the emerging topics, which tackle private equity, blockchain, and Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So basically, this is it. I would say that this will provide you with a blueprint for you to go through the curriculum if you are considering going through the CAIA program. I cannot say too much about the first level because I didn't tackle it. But at least, as I would say, yeah, basically, you can never go wrong if you follow the curriculum, if you follow the basic structure and sequential order of the curriculum. But for level 2, because you go a little bit deeper into the field of alternative investments, it's important for you, if you go through them the first time, to understand that, all right, the sequence of the topics will not be absolutely streamlined, will not be uniform. And so for you to get a grip of the easiest topic first and then go to the hardest ones first, will avoid the problem of investing too much time in the beginning on a particular topic, and then you will find yourself falling behind on specific topics, which would be easier, but because you didn't have enough time to tackle, those will become Achilles tendon or pinch points for you to tackle in the exam. So I would say, if you follow an order in terms of difficulty, you will. I can see how things can go wrong, because you will go through without wasting too much time the easier topics, and then you will still have time, hopefully, to understand the hardest topics later down the road. So basically, that's it. Feel free to drop a message in the comments. What would be your order or sequence if you have already tackled this particular exam? Feel free also to send me a message and to connect with me on LinkedIn, and I would be happy to extend this discussion further, because I think it's a very interesting issue for everyone who is considering go through the exam, or either for this particular issue or any other issues that may be on your mind for you to clear up. Feel free to do that, and basically that's it. We'll be seeing you again in the next video. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Thank you.